Ruben Ramirez, Ricky, what were the best advantages of growing up in the streets? And what would you say to someone who's looking to become a legitimate businessman, entrepreneur? What were the toughest obstacles? Maybe you want to answer that right there.
What was
streets,
the
growing up in the streets?
I grew up, some of you guys don't know, I grew up in East Bakersfield, which is the second biggest barrio in California outside of East LA. Actually, the founder of the California's Mexican Mafia is from Bakersfield. He grew up 6 blocks from where I grew up in Beale Street. And so there's a lot of heavy influence there. I think the number one thing would be to get away from those people, right? Which is associations. Get away from people that have that mentality. And by the way, let me make one thing clear because a lot of my friends are watching. I have a lot of my friends that I grew up in the hood with that I love very much, and some of them are still there, some of them are out. But it's limiting my association with the people that had the mentality that I used to have, right? And then limiting my visits to the neighborhood. I'll go now to go cut my hair, to go buy things, but I don't go to visit anybody there anymore. But that's number one. Number two is you, and I'm just gonna give him a shout out because you've interviewed him, you're friends with them. Is I read the book by Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, to help me change my mentality, to understand what it is to be a business owner, and then find a proven mentor. In this case, I was able to, first of all, my brother got into business. Then Alejandro, my brother Alejandro, shout out to my little brother Alejandro, into this business because I come from a family of entrepreneurs that were in financial services. So then, from there I was coached by Hector and Erica El Toro, shout out to them. And then Jose Marlin Gaitan, which is the older brother sister to Hector and Erica, and then Pat. So it's finding proven mentors and then staying within that association. I think to me, my number one thing is association. You're going to be a direct reflection of the 5 people that you're around the most, that your income is going to be a reflection of the 5 people that you're around the most. And a lot of the reason that I'm passionate about the things that I'm passionate about now is because Pat kind of brought light to it. So what ends up happening is that you're kind of in the dark on a lot of things, a lot of subjects that you're in the dark. And so somebody says, hey, have you looked at this? All they got to do is point a finger for you to look at. And then you're like, wow, I did not know that, right? So that's kind of the road that I would say to take is, again, to break it down. Number one, get away from associations that have the same lifestyle. Number 2, start reading, self-developing. Number 3, find a proven mentor. Anybody who's willing mentor that you admire, that you know. And they can be a priest, they can be a pastor. For us, it's Dudley. And on the spiritual side, find a way out and just stick with that community. That would be my
By the
best
way,
advice.
to tell you how much Ricky has influenced the Latino community in his surrounding area, this is just the beginning of what he's going to be doing with his impact. Because this messaging coming from somebody like this who grew up there, the level of credibility he has to say, here's where I was, here's who I was, here's what I did, here's the proof, this is what I believe today, we ought to change or else.
Well, I've told Ricky this a million times. This is a lot of what the Republican Party needs, especially
no
in
question
California.
about it.
Like if you see a guy like this,
Yeah.
rather than the male, pale, and stale crowd that you see when they're lining up on the Trump pictures, this is someone that I think people can get behind. This is someone that even
No
a
question.
Democrat can say, you know what, this motherfucker.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think to a certain extent, though, the suit. Let me. I'm gonna send something to Kai real quick, Pat, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
I think that a lot of times, what is it called? The suit may
Fool them.
So I'm gonna send. I'm gonna send something.
Why don't
to-
you just take your clothes
No,
off?
no,
right
I'm not
here,
gonna do
Ricky?
that
Why
right
don't
now.
you do
No,
that
because
right
then
now?
you're gonna.
The people on the crowd want to see
I'm
that.
actually gonna send this. I'm gonna send this to Kai. Maybe
Ricky,
Kai can
while
pull
you're
it
doing
up.
that, let me ask you a follow-up
Yes,
question
sir.
while you're doing that. So
Maybe Kai can pull this up real quick so people know what I look like without a shirt. Not completely, just So go ahead.
the male model pictures?
No, not
Okay,
the male
all right.
model.
So respect to you for
Thank you,
what,
appreciate it.
what you're doing, bro. Real talk. You talked about limiting your trips to the barrio, limiting your trips to the hood. Obviously, you're associating yourself with PBD and the Del Toros and the Gaitans. Respect to them if they're listening. Sapala, everyone.
Oh, 100%. Yes, Apollo Vargas.
Respect. Love those guys.
Yeah.
You talking about limiting? What kind of backlash are you getting from your people saying, "Bro, you sold out"? Bro, you're not with us anymore. Bro, you talk shit. I gotta suspect you're seeing stuff like that.
Yeah, you know what? You know what the crazy part is? I don't, because I'm not around them, I don't hear it.
So when you go around them,
Yeah,
you think you're better than me now?
No,
bro?
no, actually.
Oh, you think you're this?
Actually,
you don't get any of that?
Surprisingly enough, bro. Surprisingly enough, when I do, I go get my compadre owns a barbershop, so I go cut my hair in my neighborhood 2-3 times a week. And when
You're
I
getting
do
haircuts 2 or 3 times a
Put
week?
it back up.
Yeah, so
Jesus.
of course. So that's what I look like without a shirt. Yeah. So I'm completely, and that's the way my damn near 75% of my body looks. I'm completely tattooed, and I have my murals. I have my
What's up with the
tattoos.
rooster on your hat?
The roosters where I'm from, it's big on the rooster world. So my family were raised
You're a
roosters.
cocksman.
Yeah. So this is how I look without my shirt on. I take off my shirt on my back. I have my back completely tattooed as well. I grew up in the neighborhood. So anyway, point is that to answer your question though, no, I don't get a lot of it. On the contrary,
I can see that.
Yeah,
but here's why though, because his arguments make sense. There is credence behind it. When there's credibility and weight behind your word, people have to listen. Okay, you have, no matter how much a person doesn't like a doctor, if a doctor's got the credibility to say, for the last, like Ron Paul will get up and say, I've done 4,000, I've delivered 4,000 babies, right? If he tells you about delivering babies, guess what you have to say? I never delivered a baby, 4,000 of them, you got credibility.
Yeah.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.